Marie, now, next up, the Inquisitor. Oh, there's another story node. One of the village. Yeah, here again, I'm hearing people shout and hollering. When we returned to the village, ship repairs completed, we were welcomed by a rather hostile standoff. A quick count told me that there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. Considering its population, that was pretty much the whole village. Who's that over there? Inquisitor? Think we've been found. The Inquisitor, dressed in well-kept uniform, was about the same height as Don Quixote, the sword and the lamp hanging from her waist, sits in the stark contrast with the more run-down, ramshackle village. Wait, have I seen her Arknights? I can't remember. She almost looked like a fixer from the city. So the Inquisition has discovered our village. Did you really think that you could forever stay out of the Inquisition's gaze, citizen? That's naive me. Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition mid-interrogation under the... I hate my mic sometimes, it just disconnects. Is that so? Then you might find yourself returning to this village one day, as long as you're telling the truth. Which is not an option for you, Fabius. Mayors, was Chief really a pirate? Well, yeah, but as far as I know, he's been out of the game for a while. And even when he ran with the pirates, all he ever did was share fin-based jerky to the villagers, or carry ingredients between them. Even if you're telling the truth, Mayors, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient. Well, what now? I have but one question to ask. That Inquisitor, is she following the proper legal procedures? I don't know how much about the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Gauss has told us that the words of Inquisitors were pretty much the law here. That she is following the proper legal procedures. The procedures are precisely what the villagers have fled from after all. Otis quietly dragged me to the side and whispered outside Mayor's earshot. The sinners who were right next to me seemed to have picked it up though. Executive manager, we best immediately return to the ship, take command of it, and sail out on our own. It is unwise to involve ourselves in this conflict. That is a good idea, Otis, but it's not. It's a good idea, but it's not more. Now, all things cannot be more. But are you seriously suggesting that we just let him arrest the villagers? Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor said? Seemed like cut and dry to me. It's just a standard procedure with no local laws broken. We are in no place to involve ourselves. Our best hope is to take the ship before they impound that too. We can't even do that. Even if it is standard procedure, even if they're working within the law, it's not. You stayed up to hear Mir's story too, right? Didn't you? You know the Encore Inquisitors were also working within the law too. When they came for the village, that was standard procedure too. if anyone had stepped in then. I know what you went through, but I'd still rather not take the risk in an unfamiliar environment like this. I will try my best to figure out how to sail that ship. If I cannot, then I have faith in Ishmael to quickly learn its controls. I can't say you're wrong, but I know neither you nor I know anything about the ocean currents here, Otis. We can get the ship going, but I can't guarantee that we'll reach the dimension door without any trouble. Do you know anything about the sea currents in this region? Not much, but I know the coastal sea somewhat. And you can't fight the Inquisitor area. Fleeing with the ship might be the better option. What should we do, Dante? How about we try and talk to the Inquisitor? Great idea, Honglu. Yeah, we'll shake a hand, drink some wine, and then we'll all be happy, merry go, right? That doesn't work like that, though. I think we should at least try to hear them out first, them being the Inquisitor and the Chief both. If the discussion goes well, we might even be able to get the Inquisition's support. Like Mr. Honglu said, we should hear them out first, then try to convince them. I agree with them both. First, let's see what that Inquisitor has to say. RR. Rabbits, right? I mean, it's supposed to be a rabbit. I thought it was... I thought it was a pony. Are you sure the translation was accurate, Sinclair? Right? There's no way Ryoshu would choose anything other than violence, right? Idiots. It's because all the others are pointless. Even Ryoshu's making how the heck this happened? Inquisitor seen us are already suspicion. Oh. She will doubtlessly try to stop us if we flee now. So talk first, lower her guard, then attack. Pretty sure that's not what a Mia meant. Well, if she is already onto us, then we shouldn't give her any excuse to attack us by running away. I was wondering what you were doing there, lurking in the background. A block-shaped head. Are you from the Colombian Union? They're wearing a clock for a head due to reasons, but they have nothing to do with the Colombian Union. What's the Colombian Union? TikTok. Which language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you're from Colombia or not, you're clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. You're not wrong, but I think understanding. I'm quite certain you don't know enough about these villagers to stand between them and an Inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Buddy, don't just tell her that. 2 days, alright, enough of this. Huh? Okay, I have no idea how to say that. Get out of my way outside. The attempt appears seems to have been made on quite the unstable ground. Please lend us your ear for a while, Inquisitor. A minute? I am Amia, leader of the Rose Island. Yes, I am aware of Iberia's close border situation. I felt hope swelling within me as Amia began with confidence, unlike Sinclair. Alas, it was short-lived. Thanks to the quick retort, I couldn't help but place my palm against my forehead at the exchange that followed. Oh no. Oh, so not only are we dealing with outsiders of dubious origin, we have illegal entry as well. Well, shit. That's we had to because the issue demands urgency, and I've been briefed. Brazenly crossed the border, didn't you? And how urgent the issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than the situation at hand for Iberia and its Inquisition. The High Inquisitor is handling the Rhodes Island issue. Stay put and await the consequences while he and that chatty mad dog of yours talk it out. Talking to a doctor or calcite? Do you know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skills? As for the village chief, I understand that you have the right to arrest him, as he is a fugitive who has fled in the middle of an interrogation. and has been sailing with the pirates. However, it is inhumane treatment to arrest the rest of the inhumane. This decision is well within the rights bestowed upon the Inquisition. Huh. They lived for years right next to that highly suspicious area. The Inquisition must investigate the rest of them as well to verify. This isn't going anywhere, is it? No, it isn't, Gregor. Listen, they've been surviving for years upon years by the coast without the protection of the Inquisition, and that simply cannot make sense. You know what, Heathcliff? Yeah, I was having enough of that as well. Like, I've heard enough from you. Ain't it funny how you're blaming them for a failure of your responsibilities? That's true. And now you roll up in here only to go they shouldn't be alive. I'm arrested. What are you saying? These people should all be dead or something? I am. There is no way to cut it. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this, not for this long. The Inquisitor's reply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath as he lifted his bat and began striding forward. Ha! That's it. As if he ever so much as touched the tip of a single villager's hair. Oh, Honglu stepped in. Please calm yourself down, Heathcliff. Honglu stepped in between them. Get your bloody hands off me, I've had enough of her. I know to threaten her will cause something irrevocably bad to happen. I believe you know that yourself. What do you suggest then? We clearly not making any progress, but by trying to talk. Excuse me, Miss Inquisitor, but what do you mean that people shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this? I mean it literally, huh? Even by some miracle that they actually do survive, they should at least be suffering from endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end at the inevitability of the calamity. But they look too healthy. The heck? You applauding them for managing to survive through so much hardship. I am an Inquisitor. I'm not a crazy person on a power high who goes around accosting and arresting civilians of Bavaria straight to the gallows, okay? Okay. I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for interrogation. It's just that I don't have the time or the energy to explain every single one of them to you outsiders. I promise them a fair judgment, whichever way that may be, after a proper investigation. Hmm. Okay. But it. Hmm. No, she's making me question myself. So stop it with this obstruction of justice. The Inquisitor brandishes her rapier threateningly, her voice shaking with frustration. Dante, without circumstances, Faust advises against further antagonization of the local political authority. I agree with Faust. Okay. Always influence. I have the feeling that she isn't the kind of heartless inquisitor that goes around discriminately and executing innocents like Miss Mayers told us about. I don't think she is anything like the Inquisitors of Encore we saw back at Claw. No, right, we didn't have the full picture of the circumstances getting in the way of an Inquisitor who was clearly a rather significant political entity in the area was more than was a bad idea. It isn't the Inquisitor's job to ask the questions. Continuing to obstruct me then. As the standoff was showing no signs of ending, Miss Mayers, I can answer your questions, so for now let's do as the Inquisitor says. May, who had been hiding behind us ever since we returned to the village, suddenly stepped forward. What of thy grandfather and the villagers? That's alright. I'm sure this is happening only because the Inquisitor doesn't know. What do you mean you'll answer the questions? About the profound silence. Mayor's response to Otis was but a single concept. I didn't quite grasp its significance, but it surprised the Inquisitor. What they called the calamity that destroyed Iberia.